Hello crafty viewers, for today's video I'm going to be showing you how I made this very textured, sparkly Christmas card. I used the Merriest Moments bundle, and that came from the August through December mini catalog, and you could find that here on page 43. Now, this is a very unique bundle. Why is that? Well, let me show you. So not only does it have the die set and the stamp set, like most bundles do, and you can see here are the different die cut pieces, as well as a stamp set that has several nice sentiments on it, but it also, as part of the bundle, comes with this really cool embossing folder. What's cool about this embossing folder is this die here is sized to just click right in to the folder, and in one pass you can both die cut and emboss at the same time, and you get this beautiful textured piece. And you can see that the edges on here are even all around because the piece won't shift when you try to run it through the embossing folder after you die cut it. It's all done in one pass. I thought that was really cool. It also comes with several different other pieces of greenery, some poinsettias and some holly leaves to make a variety of different cards. Now, if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love if you would shop in my online store if you're interested in this bundle. You can find it down, link to it down in the show notes below. I'm also going to show you another card at the end of the video, so if you stick around, I will show you a completely different take on using this set for a completely different look from the card we're going to be making today. So let's get started on our card. This card is using some of this beautiful shimmer vellum. The shimmer vellum is from the annual catalog, and it does contain 2 sheets of the 5 different end colors for this year. I chose to use the Evening Evergreen shimmer vellum for this card. I looked at all of the different papers that happen to be in the end colors, and I thought that this piece of paper here, which is from the In Color 2021-2023 Designer Series paper from the annual catalog, was the one that really looked the best to not compete with the intricate design on the die cut. And so it's just a nice simple check pattern like here, plaid pattern. And I ran again the shimmer vellum, and this was a piece that was cut to 4 by 5.5 inches. And I ran that through the die and then through the embossing folder. So let's put this card together. Now, one of the things that I like to do is when I make my cards, I do like to conserve cardstock. And I wanted some of this Evening Evergreen behind the sentiment. And so I'm going to just take that rectangle die, center it in the middle of the cardstock, and we're going to run that through my die cutting machine. Once we put everything together, you'll never notice that there's a big giant hole in the middle of this. I'll be right back. All right, let's start assembling our card. So the very first thing is I'm going to adhere this piece down. And this piece is cut so that it is 4 1/8 inch by 5 3/8. And that leaves a 1/16 inch reveal all around. So I do have a piece of basic white cardstock. It is cut, again, a top folding tent fold card to 5.5 by 8.5. Scored at 4 1/4 and folded in half. Let's take a look before we adhere this down, how much space we need to leave on each edge. So we have just a 1/16 inch reveal all around. Now this piece is cut to 4 by 5 1/4 inches. Again, this is going to leave just a 1/8 inch border all around. And I did that. I didn't want to use 1/8 inch increments because this is such a large die cut. I didn't want too much of it hanging off over the edge of the paper. Now, because we're going to use this piece of the evening evergreen, we can adhere down our adhesive right on the back of this without needing to worry about whether or not it's going to show through the vellum. So you can see that this goes right to the edge on each side. And that is how you know where to position it. You never see that we cut that big giant hole out of the middle to come up with this piece. So let's adhere this down. Now this sentiment came out of the Tidings and Trimmings stamp set, and this is from the annual catalog. And I just thought that this was just the most wonderful time of the year. I love that. And I love the font on this too, the typeface. This card does need a little bit of dimension on it, so let's pop this up on some dimensionals. There we go. You know what? It just needs a little extra bling. So let's add some of these very pretty subtle shimmer sequins. And these are from the July through December mini catalog. And some of these sequins are actually pretty tiny. So I'm going to use a tiny little dab of glue to adhere these down rather than trying to use a glue dot. And I'm just picking random spots on the card. And I have 2 different sizes of sequins here. So we got some small ones and some large ones. And you know what? This is where your take your pick tool comes in handy. And there is our 3rd card. Look at all the dimension and the bling and the shimmer. This is just such a very pretty shimmer vellum. Okay, so we're done with our card, and this you can see was done in the beautiful evening evergreen as well as the soft succulent. But let me show you a completely different take on that card, as I promised at the beginning of the video. Check this one out. If you like things that are a little bit more traditional colored. So this is made using the green foil sheets, and these were a returning favorite from last year, and that can be found in the catalog over here on page 35. I also used some of the designer series paper that was in the Regals set, and this is a different pattern. Both of these came from the designer series papers for this year, but this is the one that has the little dots on it. And when I cut it, I made sure that the dots were going horizontal. I just think that that gives it a little better look than if it was vertical. This is made with the cherry cobbler, and I stamped it also in some cherry cobbler ink. So this would be a really fast card to put together, and you could probably get 6 of these out of just one foil sheet. And this is just such pretty paper. So that was just a completely different design using this, and I just thought I'd share it because it was something completely different. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you do see anything that you would love to purchase, please shop in the link below, and I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.